The following video has been approved by the Jetty marketing team. The video has been rated Jetty. The following video may not be suitable for all viewers.
G'day mate, welcome to Rail Route with me, Jetty. Now, Rail Route is a game that popped up my horizon about 2 months ago, honestly. The developer actually contacted me directly and said, hey Jetty, I'd really like you to check out our game. It's a tycoon game, it's a train dispatcher simulation game, I guess is probably the best way of putting it. And I said, sure mate, I'm happy to give it a whirl, happy to have a look. And I'm not sure whether they wanted somebody to demonstrate it or they were looking for a test dummy, because I've got to say, I've played this game now a handful of times over on Twitch through its various stages of early access. And there were definitely some things that I didn't really understand and the game didn't really explain terribly well. And look, the devs have been great. It's a two-man dev team, okay? And one of the devs, pretty much every single time I streamed, jumped on the stream, watched me play, saw some of the things that didn't make sense from a player perspective, and it's been changed. It's been updated. It's been a great little game to watch develop over time. But what I want to do is I want to show you guys how the game works, because it's a little bit different. So we're going to start a new game over on Washington, and I'm just going to talk you through some of the basic concepts. So you start off with your basic, 3 stations, and your job is to, well, be a train dispatcher, okay? Make sure the trains get from A to B on time, on schedule, and preferably don't crash into one another. If they do, you're probably going to lose your job. So we can see this is definitely flashing right here. It's because there's a new train coming in, new train coming to Riverdale number 2, and it needs to drive over to Benning over here, and then all the way back to Riverdale. Nice, simple, plain, easy. We've got a couple of speed controls, and the UI is interesting. It's just the basics that you need to get up and running. And then as the game progresses, as you earn both experience and money, mainly experience, being these 2 tokens up here, you can actually unlock more of the game. It's the first time I've actually seen a game where you can unlock more of the user interface, make the game more complicated through experience points. Normally it's hidden behind tech trees and that sort of stuff. The game is, rather than you unlocking tech trees through, research or something, it's unlocked through completion of contracts, and you get to unlock not only new technologies, but as I said, more user interface items. So we can see the train is going to go from 8 to 8:01. It needs to sit at Riverdale 2. Then 8:05 to 8:06, it needs to be over at this station. I've hit this green button here, which is basically turned on the signal so the train is allowed to run, and it's going to drive from A to B. Sounds really simple. Sounds really easy. We're doing one train from A to B currently. It gets a lot more complicated with a whole lot more interesting systems. More things get added. You can have smart signals, automatic routing, all sorts of things. But yeah, game starts off really, really simple. Train drives A to B. We have a couple of speed modifiers right here. When the train gets to the other end, it doesn't auto-reverse. I need to click this button to auto-reverse the train, and then I need to OK the signal so the train can drive all the way back, and it's meant to go to Riverdale 3, and I'm already going to lose some points because I sent the train to the wrong station because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, lost some points for bad platform. Excellent. Okay, we can click on this, and we can see a new train is meant to come in at Riverdale number 2, but I have a train in the way. We're off to a good start. So you're going to come in on the wrong station, and we're going to set you off to Benning number 2 and back and forth. And yeah, we can see that I'm already in trouble. It's Jetty. It's Jetty. So once we have some basics up and running, after you learn a few things, we actually have another train coming in. This one's at number 2 again. This one's a freight train, so it needs to go to East Market, which means I need to swap that signal. And I need to swap that. And train is going to drive straight through to East Market, so on and so forth. Like I said, the game starts very easy, just enough to teach you through the system. Okay, a couple of things we want to talk about. We have a contract system here. I can accept more contracts, so I have Riverdale to Coastal City. If we zoom out a little bit, Coastal City, Crystal City, Crystal City, Crystal City. If I can build a train network from here all the way down to, no, sorry, it's got to go through here, round here, back to here. then I could accept that contract. Obviously, it has a nice warning here, and I can't accept it, which is wonderful. So we're going to decline that one, decline that one. This is another train, and we can see down here we already have a scheduling. Okay, so at 8:10 I have to have a train here. Reverse. Flip that, and you're going to number 3. Yeah. There are a lot of things you're going to have to stay on top of all at the same time. Okay, so we have another contract here, which I can accept. There are manual contracts I can accept. On top of that, the game will automatically give you a couple of contracts just to ease you through the game. Make sure that you're not gonna run out of money and also experience points. So we have Riverdale from here. So I can see I already have a train coming in at 8:20. And if we click on that, it has to go 8:20. Oh, that's this train returning. Okay, so I can accept that one really quickly. We can set up where this goes. So it's going to go from number... I need this train to start moving first. We completed one contract. Okay, so I need to accept that at that station. Wait till this guy gets out of the way. And flip my signals and hit the go button. And this guy should leave in a minute, 30 seconds, before I have another train coming in at Riverdale number 2 here and going to Benning 2 here and then back to Riverdale 3. Now, I can come into the build mode and I can always, hang on, let's right click to turn that off. Come in the build mode, and I can always buy an extra station. There we go. Oh, buy an extra platform rather. Go out of the build mode and actually set that one. Because it just needs to go to Benning. I can choose where it goes in Benning. So we're going to OK it. And it's going to come down to Benning 3. Just giving me a little bit more throughput. A little bit more of a chance of not screwing up by having too many trains going to sitting in the same station at the same time. So if we speed up the game a little bit, we can see we're going to bring our brand new contracted train down here. And then at some stage, after a minute, it's going to have to return. And I need to pick a station at Riverdale. As it seems, currently, station number 3 is our dispatching station. So we need to reverse... What? I waited too long. You need to reverse that and send it back to Riverdale 3. Okay? Now, as I said, the game, it adds things over time. It adds things through experience. So... once we've dealt with this train, which is pretty much done with, let's go look at some technology upgrades. So system upgrades. We have a bunch of new things in here. And they have been very, very helpful, giving you a couple of pointers. But we're actually going to go over the interface first. Can I get rid of that? No. Okay. We're going to have reversing. So we can accept a new train, because at the moment I'm having to click every single train that needs to arrive. We can, for 5 points, I can auto-accept that. We can, train focuser, automation, auto-accepting trains. So this will auto-accept trains into the station. And for 5 green tokens and 1 red token, we can auto-reverse trains. So what I need to do is I need to put in a couple of minutes, get a couple of points, and show you off a couple of the advances we get, not only in the interface, so we can get, next station display, so we can get we can see where the trains are going to head. We can get highlighting when trains need attention, along with a sound effect. Not giving to you too early, otherwise alarm bells would be going off often. Okay, we can have a auto click to focus on the train, so we can see exactly where that train is. There's a couple of features, so just give me a sec. There we go. We also... Oh, we finished that train, right? So, because I accepted that contract, we got 1 green token, okay? We got an average speed for the train. Repeat every 60 minutes. 30%... Oh, we only scored 30% of the maximum amount. So, had we made the train go faster, i.e. had better quality tracks, we get more money. And we have to move 5 trains total to... complete this contract, and for every delay is $700, and if I send it to the wrong platform, it's also $700. But if I send it to the correct platform on time, it's $1,000. So don't boo-boo. Don't boo-boo. Anyway, let me go earn some experience, and I'll see you guys in a sec. So, a couple of experience points later, and we're going to go over the automation tab, and we're going to turn on auto-accepting trains. So rather than me having to, select the train automatically and and pop it into the station, we're going to buy this upgrade. Okay, so now if I come here, we can see trains are auto accepted. I didn't have to actually click here and choose what station it went to. It happened all by itself. If I click on this train, it needs to go to Benning 2, which means I need to switch that switch and switch that switch and send it all the way through. The other thing I want to grab is auto reversing of trains. Okay, so once we upgrade that as well, we can see that we now get a in the station detail, we can have trains auto turn around. Dead end platforms can have only one side. Automatically reverse trains once stopped. Turn on globally once unlocked, but can turn off for any system. Dedicated dead end platforms can handle trains that reverse in the station and have another fully connected platform. Blah 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 blah. On top of that, later on throughout the game, we can add some sensors to automate a lot more. So, we should now be able to see that COM 1661, that's a commuter train, is going to pop through to Riverdale, Benning number 2. When it gets there, he's going to auto-reverse, and then he's going to have to go to number 3. And if we signal him up and crank up the speed, he should be off and running in just a second. So, again... Couple of unlocks, we've simplified our things, our life. Now, I'm trying to keep this simple, okay? I'm trying to keep it down to just a couple of trains, a couple of stations. As you can see with the map, there's a lot of other stations you can hook up. There's a lot of other stations we can hook up. And we're going to show you eventually a late game system with a number of stations hooked up. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of simple things. So, as I said, we unlocked a couple of bits of automation. Interface-wise, we're going to do, better current next station overview. Okay? So, at the moment, we can see that this is our overview. This is at a station, but we can't see where it's going to go next. Let's speed up till we get another train. And this one here is going to be a freight train. Oh. Okay, so we have a freight train, and it's meant to go to Riverdale 3. Change that. Okay, that. And that'll be off and running. Alright, let's go into our interface, and let's unlock... next station display. Upgrade. Okay, displays the next 2 stations for each train. So it didn't really work for our freight train, but once we get up to this train coming in, the commuter 1461, we'll be able to see in the interface exactly where he needs to go. So first off, this should get auto-accepted onto station number 2, and then he's going to sit there for a minute before he heads on. Okay, and we can see we can now see that this is where he needs to go, and this is where he needs to go afterwards, okay? And we've got a route, so to speak. So, let's continue with our upgrades. Can we get a, highlight trains needing attention? Okay, and at the same time, let's also grab waiting train notification. Oh, I'm out of points. Okay. Alright, so this one is okay so far. And let's actually just speed up time a little bit so we get that notification. Oh. See, we got some signals here. You're meant to go to Benning 2, and we can set you off and running. Okay, so again, let me just squeeze out a little bit more tech. Run the game for a little bit, show off a few more things. Okay, so we've done a couple of upgrades, just a few tweaks around the system. As you can see, we've added a few more train tracks. I've also added one of the things that we're going to get throughout the game, one of those automation things. We can now have an auto signal, which will automatically, set up all the switches the correct way, automatically signal things from A to B. We'll get to all the details in just a second. But to play with that, I want to accept a new train. Riverdale, Benning, Riverdale, accept. We're going to put that on station number 4 because it has one of these smart switches. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from here, and I'm going to set that straight to number 4. And as you can see, it's going to turn on the signal. It's going to set the switches the correct way and send the train down here. Meanwhile, you are still on a manual system. Oh, how horrible. Which means I have to set all the switching the correct way and then enable that signal for you to drive from Riverdale to Benning number 2. And again, if we speed up time just a little bit, we got a contract complete for the last one. And these trains are now wandering down to their respective stations. Now, again, they're both going to auto-reverse because they both need to come back. And then you, sir, need to go to anything at Riverdale. So you know what? I'm going to set you to go straight back to number 4. You, on the other hand, need to go to number 3, which is in here, which I technically can't get to. So let's go into our track editing and let's put another switching in there, which means we can now, and I can't click this and set it all the way through. I need to actually manually flick all these switches, or we can go into, actually, let's turn them back. Go into the buy menu, put down an auto signal right there, and then I can say from there to there, and it's going to automatically set all the switches. So, a little bit of a help, a little bit of a time saver. Lets you manage more and more trains, because that is essentially the job you have. You're a train dispatch manager. The more trains you can handle, the better. So, as I said, we have the ability to unlock new tech. Okay, ranging from freight trains and all sorts of things. Along with change the platform for a train. So rather than you having to go always to number 3, I could have an upgrade where I can set it to number 2, which might, just because of the way I've built the train tracks, save me a bit of time, save me a bit of anguish. But another thing I definitely want to unlock is going to be definitely the sounds, definitely more sounds. Sound notification sounds anytime a train is waiting to enter a station. By listening to the notification sound, it's easy to handle busy traffic without missing a waiting train not visible yet. Aha! At the same time, interface, let's do better train labels. Okay, so rather than just having the name of the train, which is what we have currently, if we grab this interface upgrade, we can now see, we can now see where it's going and what time it has to be there. Okay, big difference. And as I said, these are all technology upgrades. These are all things you're going to get over time. A little bit more experience in the game, a little bit more contracts completed, a little bit more money in the bank, a little bit more of an upgrade. Let's also, is there anything else? Look, there are so many things. There are so many things in this game, and I think rather than going through and showing them to you all, I think I should just show you like an endgame scenario, because it's a train dispatch management game. Okay, I don't want to show you too much of the game because I don't want you guys to be able to cheat your way through it. Okay, to see too much of how the endgame works, but or how the endgame mechanics interface, okay? That's the tutorial video. This is not a tutorial video. This is much more of a, you know, let's have a look at the game. You guys tell me what you think. I'll tell you what I've seen in the game. At the same time, I'm going to remind you to like the video if you want to see more Rail Route in the future. At the same time, you should subscribe, so if we do more Rail Route in the future, you're definitely going to know about it. But with all that said, let's go look at an endgame scenario. An endgame scenario. After many, many hours playing this game over at Twitch, we have a slightly different base. So after a few hours on a slightly different map. This is the Prague map. This is the Prague map, which as you can see has a few things going on. And much automation, and as we can see from just one station, trains are coming and going non-stop. If we look at any of these stations, they're pretty jam-packed. On top of that, through the excessive use of both the smart signal that we saw before, along with a whole bunch of automation, tunnels, bridges, and all sorts of other things, we have a very, very, very complicated system that also features auto routing, auto scheduling, all sorts of things. And it now means I can run the game at 25 times speed. And you can see it doesn't let up. It doesn't let up for much. You know, we even have switches to take trains from one track to the other, all over the place. This is extensive, and it's just a moneymaker at this point. With $8 million in the bank, 5,000 red experience, along with 5,000 green experience, along with 1,000 red experience. Yeah, very, very different game, different interface when you get to the end game. But with all that said, this is where I'm going to leave you guys for Rail Route. I wanted to show this game. I wanted to demonstrate this game. In saying that, it releases on Steam today. So if you want to know more about Rail Route, you're interested in Rail Route, by all means, the link down in the description will take you across to the Steam store. The devs would love to see you. They've actually got a super active Discord, which the game will tell you all about when you do jump into the game itself, or go visit the Steam page. Devs are super active, and it is just going to early access today. There's a bunch of work the devs have already done, like I said, the last 2 months, in polish and shine and fixing small bugs that have been found along the way. But yeah, the devs are hardworking, and I'm interested to see where this game goes. Anyway, with all that said, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I'm going to see you guys in the very next video. All right, bye.